Memphis should.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pick and Roll live stream here on the Board YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network, and presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. We're here for the Tuesday NBA slate for March 25th, and it's a big slate that we're going to be going through today. We're going to hear the analysis and free picks from my co-host PipsNBA before we go to you in the chat to hear your bet for the day and react to them, and to answer your questions in the Q&A portion of the stream. So, if you're ready to go, please make sure you do hit the like button, and also make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more content just like this. Before we go into all that, we start off every show by recapping the previous show's bets. Unfortunately, that time of season where guys are missing games and injury reports are difficult. We had 2 of our 4 bets void because Aaron Gordon and Malik Monk did not play. We unfortunately had a loser on the big SGP, which was at a half unit. But the frustrating loss was on PJ Washington over 19.5 points. Anthony Davis goes from doubtful to in, plays the game, takes away a lot of the usage that was expected there. So PG Washington finishes on 16 points. We needed 20 plus. So unfortunately, an 0-2 day, 1.6 units down. But it's been a great season so far. We're up big on the season and looking to keep that going here today. Let's pull up the FanDuel odds screen to go through the games today. Any game in particular you want to start with here today, Pips?
Yeah, let's go to the first. Just to comment on big SGP, it looked like we weren't close, but we kind of were very close.
Yeah.
Uh,
Herder was 1.13 away.
yeah, and
was
one bucket.
Yeah,
and bucket. Yeah, 1% from 3. We get 1-3. We cover points and threes, and then we need one bucket from Vucevic, who was fucking Vucevic. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like we weren't close, but we were really close. So, yeah, PJ Washington, 16 points mid third quarter, 0 field goal attempts for the rest of the game, which is insane. Yep, that's it. Like, if AD was playing, and no chance, I will bet that. I seen doubtful, but that's like out 90% or more, like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes in. Our 2 other guys come in, go out as ruled out. So this part of the season, think we had more players that we bet ruled out in the last 3 weeks than the entire season prior to that. So yeah, I think that kind of explains. And there are so many games where we have guys and doubtful guys are ruled in or out guys. Kessler was out.
Kessler was literally
so
out.
I would say not going in our favor lately. Not at all. So yeah. Overall, that's it. Let's move to the Memphis and Utah Jazz game.
All right. Memphis against the Jazz to get ourselves started here. We've got a 10-point spread in this one. A few 10-point spreads today, but this is something you're eyeing up.
Yeah. We're going to bet Santi Aldama over 13.5 points. I think you can get this at 13.5 minus 115 should be widely available. Minus 120 is also widely available. So both are kind of great for that range.
Yep.
Looking at Santi, when he gets, I don't know, maybe even like 24 minutes to 34, but let's say 26 to 34. He covered, I think, in 11 straight 11 straight games when he gets 26 to 34 minutes. But even on the entire season, he covered this in 16 out of 20 games, averaging 17.7. I don't know where this line is coming from. Brandon Clark is out. Ide is moved to the bench. And Aldama is starting at the 4. There is no Ja Morant. And he averaged, in that scenarios, he playing 30 minutes a game. So I put plus minus 4, so range from 26 to 34. And he then averaged 17.7. And this is one of the best matchups of the entire season against Utah Jazz. We can see first game of this graph is against Utah Jazz, where he scored 27 points, which is one of the season highs, close like fifth highest scoring game of the season came against this matchup. When you look at the graph, most of his points come from above the break three. Utah Jazz allowed the most. He scores some of his points in the from the mid range, where Jazz allow a ton of points. He scores a ton of points. He has via spot up and transition. They are the worst transition defense, and they are below average on spot up. And if you look at the wings lately, Kelly Olynyk had 26 points against Utah Jazz. Naz Reid had 27. Obi Toppin 13. Uh, Jaren Jackson Jr. 28. Evan Mobley, Zach Collins, and Santi Aldama himself covered. So be shooting wings that play forwards that play at four, killing the Utah Jazz, which makes sense. He'll be getting his defensive matchup is Kyle Filipowski. That's one of the best spots to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are away and they are struggling lately, so could be a close game. When they played Utah Jazz, I think every game was close this season, even when Ja Morant was playing. Last game, I think it was like one possession game with Ja Morant in and healthy Jazz. So yeah, I absolutely love this spot for Santi Aldama. Could see Memphis scoring 130 in this game, and yeah, that's a great spot for a guy playing 30 minutes and shooting the lights out.
Yeah. So Santi Aldama over 13 and a half points is going to be where we start for today's show. Minus 115 odds should be available for the masses to get. So that will be our first play of the day. We'll go back to the FanDuel odds screen here. Keep moving through a couple more games. Next up, top of the slate, we've got the Spurs and the Pistons. Pistons making the big playoff push. They're minus 10 favorites. Anything you want to discuss in this game here?
Cade is questionable, and that's the only reason this spread is not higher. Uh, yeah, Pistons are playing absolutely great, and without Cade, I can't. Castle and Cade are questionable, best players on both sides. So it's weird to even say that, but think in this lineup, Stefan Castle could be the best player on the Spurs.
Yeah, he's been.
Can we argue maybe like Vassell, but looking at defense, I will stay Castle. Like Chris Paul, Castle, Vassell, Barnes, Biombo, Sohan, Keldon Johnson, and Julian Champagny. That's the rotation. I will be pretty confident to say Castle is the best player on this team.
Yeah, and he's made a very large push to win the Rookie of the Year award. He's the big favorite to do so at this point. So he's been great.
Yeah, just looking at his like numbers, Postal Star, and we can move on then. But Postal Star, Stefan Castle, averaging 17, 4, and 4 on, I would say, a bit of above, below average league efficiency, but that came up to the average in March. So yeah, I think yeah, great season for a rookie.
Well, yeah, very good. Next one. It's wait, sorry, just on that. Not a great rookie class, but seems like he has been the best. Next game up is the Magic. Very much in need of wins. They're minus 5.5 away at Charlotte. Are you looking at anything here?
Just maybe go through some like comment stuff. Banchero line 28.5. That's ridiculous, even though he's playing unbelievable. I shit on Banchero a couple of times on the show, and it was for a reason. But in the March, he's been absolutely amazing. And props to him. In March, he is averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists on 50, 40, and 85, almost 50, 40, and 80 from the floor, which is like insane upgrade from the like January and February where he couldn't buy a bucket. So now he looks great, and we'll see that if that continues. But not betting this line 28.5. That's ridiculous. So I don't see much value in this game, so we can move on.
Before we do go any further down the slate, a word from our presenting sponsor here, the FanDuel Sportsbook. There's still opportunities to sign up and take advantage of the great sign-up offers available here. And it's a great sports book to get involved with, especially for live betting, because when the game tips off, the NBA action is just beginning with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. So even if you miss the first few minutes of the game, you missed the start, or if you're watching and want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can make your picks from the first whistle until the final buzzer. Plus, you can even combine these live bets into the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. So however you want to play, now is the perfect time to join, because new FanDuel customers get started with $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. And in order to get involved, sign up with FanDuel.com/board. That's FanDuel.com/board, or go to the link in the description for your shot at $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. But must be 21 plus and present in select states or Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only, $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as nonwithdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Keeping it moving. Going back to the screen. Next game up, an interesting one. It is the Golden State Warriors away at the Miami Heat. Why this is interesting? Jimmy Butler plays for the Golden State Warriors. He's going to be playing in Miami tonight. And I don't imagine it's going to be a fantastic reception, but these teams have gone in polar opposite directions since that trade was made. Golden State's been winning tons of games. The Miami Heat cannot win a game right now, really. Well, they did win their last game, but they've won one of their last 10 games. How do you think this one is going to go today? How do you expect, what's the reception do you expect for Butler?
Oh yeah, I don't know why about the reception. Probably not great, because he was weird last couple of months with Miami Heat, refusing to play, always causing trouble. So I don't think it will be great. But I would probably lean into betting the Golden State Warriors if Steph wasn't questionable, because I don't see it for the Miami in this one. Like Bam Adebayo against Draymond Green, yeah, good luck. Tyler Hero probably gets like a moody, not a very difficult matchup, but not a great one. Kelly has no chance against Jimmy Butler. So Miami kind of leaning into Andrew Wiggins as their best player now on offense, and that's just not something I will like. Yeah, I think Golden State wins this, especially with Jimmy Butler being fired up. When he will play this as a probably playoff game, and when he is locked in, Jimmy's. I hate how he plays throughout the regular season, every season, but when it's time to lock in, he is one of the best. So could be a great game.
I'm trying to figure out if there's going to be a tribute video for Jimmy Butler in today's game. I haven't found a super credible source that says there will be a tribute video. Personally, I'd be a little bit surprised if I'd be a little bit surprised if there wasn't one, but I don't think it's going to be very well received if there is one. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe we could see some boost during the
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Drosko did ask about Butler over 20.5 points at -117. Do you think there's enough motivation there for that line to be a good one to take?
I won't bet anything solely on motivation. Like when it's like guys like Butler, maybe he gets go for a triple double before going for like big scoring games. So I don't know what's the motivation for him. Probably some more like on defensive side and being like aggressive on offense. But 20.5, that's already adjusted for his aggressive and motivated game.
All right, let's keep it moving. Next game up is the Dallas Mavericks, who have Anthony Davis back. Actually, second night back-to-back. I actually wonder if Anthony Davis will even play this game.
No chance.
He had to rush back for the Brooklyn. You know what? They probably felt Brooklyn was the game they had to win, and this one they were going to lose regardless. That might have been the mindset, but it is a 10-point spread in favor of the Knicks. Is there anything that you're looking at here?
I don't know. Yeah, they're on back to back, so that's why the spread is so high. But I'm not going to be surprised if this is a close game or a win for Dallas. Knicks suck, absolutely suck. So yeah, playing at home, Madison Square Garden, and no back to back for Dallas. I could see that. Yeah, but other than that, yeah.
All right, keeping it moving here. It's that time of the season, everyone. Late March, but we've got an interesting game here. Atlanta, who have just they're one game away from being 500 on the season, which is astonishing considering the injuries and trades that the injuries they've had, the trades that they've made, the season they've had. But they are in tough away at Houston. Houston is still 7.5-point favorites here. Houston trying to lock up the 2 seed. Probably favorites to do so. The easiest schedule of the teams vying for that second spot in the Western Conference. So what a season for them as well. But on this game in particular, is there something that you're looking at?
Yep, we are going to bet the one and only Alperen Şengün
All right.
over 19.5 points.
People have soured a bit on Şengün on this channel because
Yeah,
he's lost some
yeah,
bets.
we lost some bets on him. Yeah, well, first off, we're gonna set the minutes correctly. That's when he's playing between 30 and 40 minutes, and even by just doing that stuff, he's over in 19 out of 30, averaging 21 points a game. But let's look at the teams. Miami, Hawks allow 18th most points to the opposing bigs, and let's exclude top 10 defenses against his position. He is then over in 23 out of 30, averaging 23 points a game. But Alperen Şengün is scoring most of his points as a post up, and Hawks are below average there. They are below average, fifth worst against pick and roll man. So yeah, I'm just going to check that one first, but I don't think there is a huge correlation there. So I'll just go to the post ups. So that means teams that don't double. And looking at that, excluding only top 7 teams, we get that Alperen covered this line in 20 out of 23 games, averaging 23.3 points a game. Didn't cover against the Dallas, shooting 5 from 16 from the field, came up to the 17 points. On average efficiency, this is another 23 points game. Against the Raptors, they sent doubles. In that game, I remember that game. They didn't let him cook inside. And I have no idea what happened against the Suns. I think it was a game where Jalen Green took 30 field goal attempts. But overall, in these kind of matchups, he is cooking. Additionally, they are allowing fifth most at the rim, where he scores 54% of his points. And as I said, they are below average on post ups, fifth worst on pick and roll, and allowing a ton of free throws. So yeah, I do like this matchup for LP. Game, I think we should win, but I think the game stays close because the other team has Trae Young, so he kind of always keeps Hawks in the game. So yeah.
All right, there we go. Alperen Şengün. It's not minus 11. It's minus 111 at FanDuel. That's on the 20-plus point line. It's also available in other spots around similar prices here, but FanDuel, it was minus 112 for the over 19.5, minus 111 for the 20-plus. So we'll play it over there at that price. For our second play of the day alongside Santi Aldama on his point line as well. So we can keep on moving now down the rest of the screen. Up next after the Hawks game, we're going to Oklahoma City Thunder against the Sacramento Kings. Another 10-point spread. As I said, there's a few 10-point spreads in this one today. Thunder favored by 10 away in Sacramento. Winning machine. I don't know. Does it stop today for Oklahoma?
But it doesn't. Yeah.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. One of my not favorites, but teams I'm very strong on, of course, is OKC, and one of the teams I'm the lowest on, which is Kings. I honestly don't. J-Dub could be back. Chet Holmgren is questionable. Should be one to playing. If Thunder are healthy, which is a strong chance for them to be, Kings on back-to-back, probably without Sabonis, will kind of get destroyed here. I don't see how they score. All the guys that are scoring for them are kind of pick and roll dominant, and OKC the best pick and roll defense in the league. So it's very tough. And also they are kind of not great against shooting, and they have like Jonas Valanciunas and DeRozan playing big minutes, so kind of have targets to help off. So yeah, this is a good matchup for OKC, and they should easily win this one.
All right. Betting wise, is anything here?
Not up, everything almost no nothing is up because so many questionable players.
Fair enough. Last game, the somehow struggling Cleveland Cavaliers. They are kind of hitting some adversity in the late parts of the season. They did win their last game to kind of right the ship, but they had lost 4 games in a row before that to the Suns, Kings, Clippers, and Magic. But this one is not a pushover in Portland against the Blazers, who are still kind of knocking on the door of making a play-in tournament position. 3 games back of the Suns. Not impossible from here, so we'll see what sort of motivation they have. But maybe a tricky game for Cleveland. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know actually. Yeah, in that like sense, like tricky game could be. Yeah, could be definitely, but yeah, no Mitchell for Cleveland, and that's their best player. I don't know what everyone thinks, but Mitchell is the best.
That's their best. That's their best player. Yeah.
Yeah, I will argue like maybe in like second spot is more like questionable between Garland and Mobley, because Garland is absolutely amazing player. Mobley gets some edges on defensive side, being very important for them. But yeah, seeing some questions in the chat about Hunter points, rebounds, and assists. Could be last time they played, he had a game of the season almost, like 32.7 rebounds and yeah, and but 39 points, rebounds, and assists. That's covering this line by double. But lately, like nothing great against. Yeah, just looking at these Bulls. I would look at the games where the Mitchell didn't play. Those are the last, I think, 3 games. Just a second. No, this was at Hawks. Last 2 games were Spurs. No, only 1 game without Mitchell, which is interesting. Last 2 games without Mitchell, covering both pretty easily. 18 points and 32 points. Rebounds and assists kind of close. Yeah, let me just see. 12 points is there? No, it moved. So he's kind of all over the place. Like 12 points is like his standard. Yeah. Overall, nothing probably for this game. I'll share one interesting spot. That's for me, Danny Avdia on the assist side. Uh, when he is playing 30 plus minutes without DeAndre Ayton against teams who are outside of top 5 in defense to position, he covered this line in 11 out of 13 games, and the season high came against Cleveland Cavaliers in March. So 3 weeks ago against the Cavs, overtime game, he had 10 assists and averaging 6.1 in this scenario, which is only 30 plus minutes without Aiton. So, what are the prices while available on this? Probably minus 115, minus 120. Considering this to was a third bet. Can you check the lot?
Yeah. What line is it? What do you need?
4.5 assists.
Dave the 4.5 assists. Minus 120. It's fine. -125 also available.
Yeah, I see -110s on
Yeah,
two highly
me
available
too.
books, and about think it's if there are -110 and -125s, we can do like as an official -120 because it's widely available.
Yeah,
So
-120 is
yeah,
fine.
let's do this as third bet. It looks great, honestly, and his numbers. Avdia is one of the most improved players this season. Like we should like was one of my strong candidates before the season. I didn't end up betting a lot on him. I did like some put some on him, but like looking at his numbers, post All Star, Avdia is averaging 21, 9, and 5, being crazy good wing defender. 21, 9, and 5. That's an All Star. And Portland post All Star are winning games. So he's doing that in winning games, putting 21, 9, and 5 while being great on defense. That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, he's been impressed. He's part of the reason why Portland are just having a better year than expected. They've been
There is correlation with Avdia playing well and Aiton not playing at all.
yeah. Yeah, we all year you've been saying they're DeAndre's out for this one, but they're better when he doesn't play. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, and it's been the
helpful.
case, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll see which team takes another crack on him next. But third official play, Danny Avdia over 4.5 assists. -110s are out there if you can get them, but we're going to be playing -120 on the show for today. So 3 picks in the books, but now we can head over to the chat and we will get your guys' bets for the day and your questions for us to answer today. So let's dig into those now. Quite a few player prop questions have come in from the show. Early on, Drosco asked about Devin Vassell under 3.5 assists at 1.7 odds. I think that's -142. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, -143.
yeah, there are some -140, 45, -150s. Uh, let's see. No Wemby, no Fox. Under in 7 out of 8. Pistons, horrible matchup. Earlier this season against the Pistons, zero potential assist, zero assists. Pistons allow 6 least assist. Yeah, makes sense. The only thing not going well like, for this bet is Castle being questionable, and if he's out, Vassell is then secondary creator next to Chris Paul, and that's the thing. Only concern about this bet, nothing else. Overall, yeah, obviously, like if Castle is in, this is a great bet.
All right. Next one to discuss. We'll go to Bam Adebayo under 19.5 points, -115.
Okay, not great, not terrible. Okay, uh, he's shooting threes. I will ignore him at threes. We had Gordon putting like 35 at the 5 against Draymond. Bam Adebayo. Yeah, this is a no go for me. Like I don't like Bam, but they'll put heavy pressure on Tyler Hero, so Bam will get some looks here.
Next one, same game. Good French millionaire asked about Draymond Green 3+ steals at +215 for the potential favorite for the MVP or MVP
Yeah,
DPOY.
this is one of those very crazy bets. But
Yes.
looking at the last 2 months of the season, he had 3+ in 9 out of 22. Let's look at the thing with Miami. They allowed the least uh, steals to bigs. I don't think that's like a huge, but it does like mean they don't allow steals. They don't create, they don't make turnovers, so it's more difficult to get steals. And he's playing against teams top 10 in steals allowed. He covered this only in 2 out of 17 games, averaging 0.9 steals. So we can see that there is a huge correlation. And looking at other way around, yeah, this is like a big correlation on steals. So no go for me.
Okay. Next up, let's go to the Hawks game. How about Trey Young under 10.5 assists at -143?
Last time they played, he had 25 potential assists against the Houston Rockets. Let me just check. He had 9 assists and 25 potential assists. So not fun, not my favorite bet, especially at that price.
Okay. And keep it moving. We'll go to LaMelo Ball under 6.5 assists at +105 odds.
That could actually be good. Let me just check something here. Like he has lately been cooking this assist line. Like when you take a look from like March, averaging 8.7. Uh, yeah, 8.7. Over in 7 out of 9. Even in difficult matchup for the assist, he did cover. Looking at head to head, covered in both games against Orlando with on big time potential assists. So no, thank you.
Three more player prop questions, and then we'll get to some extra questions here. Jelko asked about Jalen Duren over 25.5 points plus rebounds at 1.8 odds. So
Yeah, I'm just afraid this is a blowout, so he won't close the game. And getting 25 points and rebounds in like limited minutes is not something you would expect. Like you can look at the games when he played 27 or more minutes lately. Look at this like he covered in 14 out of 16. Of course, in a game where we bet he didn't cover. Uh, but when you look at the games where he played 22 to 26 minutes, which is a case in a blowout, he's under in almost like every game. So let's check blowouts for this actually. So let's do won or lost by 15 or more points. So we're looking at the games when he lost or won or lost by 16 or more points. We can see that he averaged 24 minutes and averaged 22.3 points, rebounds, and assists, and under in 50%. So in blowouts, he kind of don't cover that much, which makes sense.
Right. We've had our fair share of Jalen Duren bets this year. We've had winners, but we've seen many ways an over can lose when Jalen Duren is involved in a game.
Definitely, yeah.
Next game up. Next bet. Zachary Rizeshe under 12.5 points at -117.
I get the matchup is horrible. All the ways he scores are kind of covered here. Spot up, Houston does well. Transition and free throws, Houston does well. Corner threes, Houston the best defense in the league. Above the break three, Houston doing great. Average paint defense, so they're difficult matchup. But look, like this is a young rookie. He'll obviously get better as the season goes on. Last 7 games hit the over in 6 out of 7, averaging 17 points a game. Covered in a games against the Clippers, and that's probably the most similar to the Houston Rockets, and against the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, I do think most of these games were good matchups, but I don't like to bet unders on the rookie on the race. Like the rookie, they're just improving and they're playing more through him and using him more. Like yeah, and I'll pass, but makes sense because the matchup is horrible.
Yeah, this is Drasko's show today. A lot of questions coming in. We got you today. Last one from AJ Walker. Tumani Kamara over 11.5 points, -132. He's been great lately, by the way.
Yeah, he's been obviously like one of the reasons Portland is winning because he kind of making threes now, and on defensive end, one of the probably deserving even like all NBA this season. All defense. Yeah, he's been great. Shooting absolutely amazing, like 40% plus in from three in 5 straight games. Had 19 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He'll play massive minutes, and this is an okay matchup for like shooters, swing shooters. Cavs now down to being like sixth most spot up points allowed. They allow ton of from corners where he scores 22% of his points. Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it. And lately we can see similar players: Derek Jones, Wells, Kennard, Hardaway Jr., Najee Marshall, Zachary Ricochet, covered in 7 out of last 8, and averaging a ton of points over their lines. Ricochet line was 9.5. He scored 30. For example, Kennard was 6.5 lines, scored 90, 19. Uh, yeah, Wells, Derek Jones, everyone covering. So I do like the over on Kamara.
Okay, let's go to a couple other questions here. This one I thought was interesting from D Dot. The Cavs been losing games and asked if the Cavs put too much effort into the early season. Now, I've had time to think about this. From following them all year, I would disagree. Because well, not that yeah, saying that, but throughout the entire year, they've managed minutes really well. Like if they're up big, Donovan Mitchell will sit out fourth quarters. Like people like when I was making Donovan Mitchell cases at the All-Star break, people were saying, I'm going to pull up his numbers here. Like his numbers aren't as good as some other players. He's averaging 23.7 points per game compared to other seasons where he's averaged 28, like in his first year at Cleveland. But his minutes are down. Like they have no problem sitting this guy when they're up and resting guys. So I feel like they've managed their schedule really well this
Yeah,
season. It's just they've hit some rough
I
variance.
would say he averaged more points per 36 this season than the last season when he was All Star.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the first thing. Like he playing 31 minutes per game. Garland is playing 30 minutes per game. Mobley is playing 30 minutes per game. Like they are probably the most prepared team for the playoffs. Lately, defense kind of down. One game there is no Mobley. Next game there is no Garland. The third game there is no Mitchell. Like they are resting guys, and now they are losing games because like they are not full healthy. They lost 2 games in a row where they when they were fully healthy, but like I don't know, like losing to the Clippers is not like a huge deal. Like they are one of the best teams in the league. Definitely losing to the Orlando Magic wasn't great, but that's just poor shooting game. They shot like 20% from the field, and the worst shooting team in the league shot 45% from the like that's just the variance, and they still ended lose by only by 5. That's actually, I don't know. And then losing against the Suns was a very weird game. So I don't know what to even say about that one. But other than that, other than that Suns loss, I think they are kind of doing well.
And last one up, Toby Miller asked about with the NBA wrapping up, asked about MLB betting, asked if we do any MLB betting and if there are plus books that are sharp for MLB lines or props. I don't imagine you do MLB betting, Pips.
Probably if I had to choose like working like construction or betting MLB props, I'll probably go to working construction.
I'm not a big MLB better. For straights, for totals and like money line and like run lines and stuff. Don't do a lot for props. Sharp props are FanDuel. Again, FanDuel is great with props on MLB as well.
On everything, on
points.
everything, on everything.
Yeah.
NFL as well. Like they are great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking into NFL. I'm like trying to like a guy that I watched like last 5 Super Bowls and maybe like 1 to 2 weeks before the NBA starts of the NFL, and that's about it. So I'm like basic knowledge, like below average probably. But I'm starting to like educate myself so I can work on with someone who knows how to build, who can help me build the NFL part of on Props Madness. So yeah, if anyone has like a good like video breakdowns or anything to learn, please shoot me a DM on Twitter. I'll appreciate it. I'm actually struggling to find some. It's either like nerd stuff, very in depth, which is overwhelming for me to start, or there is like no something like. I mean, I don't understand basics. Like I understand the rules. I understand like some stuff like. It's something similar like someone is playing zone or man-to-man coverage or blitzing. I can obviously understand that kind of stuff. That those kind of things. It's similar to the NBA. But other than that, I'm really struggling. Honestly, it's been tough.
Hey, you'll learn. You'll learn. It'll take some time, but I'm sure
I
you
I will
will
say,
learn.
yeah, same thing was with the NBA. I was heavily onto football, soccer, like for like my entire life, played it and knew everything. And then in 2015 just switched to NBA without ever playing basketball in my life. And then we're like deep diving for like 10 straight years into the NBA, and I learned without playing sport. And I think that could be like similar path for NFL, which is, I would say, from my first dive, is much more complicated than NBA. Things are happening way faster and quicker, and it's tough. Like I need to watch like some video 10 times to like look at every player what they are doing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very interesting. I mean, with NFL, every single play is a set. It's as if like in the NBA. Imagine if every offensive set there was a timeout and you could pick a play.
Yeah.
Like that's the NFL. So very intricate indeed. But that'll do it for the show today. Thank you for sending in the questions and the bets. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please hit the like button. Make sure as well you're subscribed to the channel for more content just like this. And we'll close out hopefully the season in style, and hopefully we'll do so with bets just like these ones. 3 official bets in play. We have Santi Aldama over 13.5 points at -115. Alperen Şengün 20 plus points at -111 at FanDuel, and Dede Avdia over 4.5 assists at -120. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, we'll be back tomorrow for another show just like this one here on the Board YouTube channel, presented by FanDuel.